Starts right now.
All right, we are less than 24 hours away from the total solar eclipse we've been talking about for months, if not years. Mia Montgomery is standing by with that forecast. Mia, we know this is what everyone's been asking you.
Yeah, absolutely. For the past several weeks at this point, unfortunately, at least for South Central Texas, we're not going to have ideal viewing conditions by the time of totality tomorrow afternoon around 1:30 p.m. But I think we could time it just right with the morning cloud cover, especially the farther north and west that you go up into the hill country out west closer to the Rio Grande. We could see some of the morning low level cloud cover break up just a touch to give some a partial view of the eclipse. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Right now we have just a few lingering high clouds filtering across the area from today. But here's the thing, we had drier air this Sunday. That's why it was a bit more comfortable to step out to. That's not going to be the case by tomorrow morning. A quick batch of Gulf moisture and humidity is quickly going to surge back in. So you can see by 7 a.m. patchy fog and drizzle and low level cloud cover is expected to develop. But watch what happens by 1:30, especially for those in the path of totality near Kerrville, Fredericksburg, Blanco, Lakey, Rock Springs, even out west near Del Rio. It is possible that we see a few breaks in some of that low level cloud cover. So we'll be monitoring for that. Regardless, though, if you are in the path of totality, it's going to be a cool experience nonetheless, with the sky getting dramatically dark here by that time as well. An isolated strong storm not ruled out, though, after totality by late Monday afternoon and into the evening. So we're going to have to talk a little bit more about that coming up in just a few. But first, the excitement is certainly growing out there. We are going to have live coverage throughout the day tomorrow, and that includes live coverage from Fredericksburg, where meteorologist Adam Caskey and Justin Horn have been this weekend. Guys, how is the vibe out there?
With the vibe is good. It's upbeat, and everybody's very friendly and wanting to kind of get to know everybody who's out here.
Sure.
But
the crowds haven't been exactly what I think a lot of the businesses around here had hoped for. We think there will be more people coming tomorrow. And we certainly have met a lot of people from not only around the country, but from around the world.
Where's the farthest that people have come?
France. We have people in town from France.
Did they get a pair of boots?
Yes, they did.
It's kind of a must. Turns out Europe is well represented in Fredericksburg for the eclipse.
Where are you from?
From Poland.
Yes, from Poland. Love it. People from all over the world coming to Fredericksburg. Thank you very much. Welcome to Texas.
And the country, too. We met Lori Wright, who traveled from Palm Springs.
So this is actually my first real visit to Texas.
What do you think?
I love it. Everyone says y'all. It's like for real, but you just hear it otherwise, but it's people really say it. They really say it. I know, but I love it.
It hits you like, what's all this
It
y'all?
does.
Every sentence begins with y'all.
And there were plenty of y'alls to go around today. Despite that, businesses in downtown Fredericksburg report sales aren't exactly where they expected them to be. We asked if locals thought the crowds were overly large.
I haven't noticed it. That's why we came downtown to see, and I haven't noticed it.
What do you think it'll be like tomorrow, even busier?
I think so. I really do.
A good thing, considering several stores featured Eclipse-themed merchandise, like this candle, which we'll be putting to good use.
If we light this candle Monday morning, will the clouds part?
Yes.
Oh, baby! Woo! All right, we're going to take all of them. We're not kidding. We're not kidding. We're doing everything it takes to make sure those low clouds, our low morning stratus that we often see around here when humidity surges back in, such as tonight, we're doing everything it takes to get those clouds to break. They will part.
The candle's going to do it. Yes, we have faith that we're gonna see it tomorrow. And by the way, as you said earlier, we have live coverage of all of this tomorrow from Fredericksburg. We hope you'll join us on all the apps, all the platforms. We'll be here, and yes, with some good luck, hopefully.
We're sending the good juju up to the sky.
Back to you guys.
There's nothing like some good juju and high kicks from scientists that will bring the clouds in. Push them away. That was amazing. Thank you, guys. They have no fun, by the way. None at all. No fun at all. Well, here's a look at our team coverage for tomorrow. We'll be live on air and online from noon to 2. We'll bring you coverage throughout Bernie, Fredericksburg. I'll be in Kerrville, super excited. And there's a bunch of places throughout San Antonio where our crews will be too. Again, our Eclipse Authority special is on Monday tomorrow from noon until 2 o'clock. So make sure you find us. Well, tomorrow, those eclipse preparations we've been talking about for a long time turn into reality. We've talked about TxDOT urging drivers to plan for possible heavy traffic. Well, county leaders in Bandera say they're most concerned about after the eclipse, when everyone's ready to go home. The Night Team's Avery Everett shows us how construction closures on Highway 16 could have an impact on your trip.
Cowboys aren't the only ones coming through Bandera Sunday night. Ahead of the eclipse, it's cars, trailers, and a whole lot of out-of-state traffic.
A lot of people from like Germany and England, so it's been a good time.
Some only come the distance of San Antonio.
We've just been coming back and forth.
And others cross-country.
It's a 10-hour drive.
As people start to settle at their eclipse viewing destinations, some say traffic hasn't been that bad near Bandera.
I haven't run into any issues at all. I keep saying it's going to be awful. It's going to be awful. It's going to be bumper to bumper. We have had no traffic.
But that might not be the case through Monday.
We're standing right now in what would usually be the outer lanes of Highway 16 headed into Bandera. But as you can see, it's shut down because of construction. This highway is now one lane in each direction, and county leaders say that's why they have concern on Monday night into Tuesday morning after the eclipse.
That's when we feel like we're going to have the largest amount of stress on the community and on our roads and on our resources is when people decide to go home.
To help minimize delays, TxDOT is avoiding new lane closures and construction Sunday through Tuesday. Lanes that are already shut down, like here on Highway 16, will stay closed, but contractors won't work through mid-next week. Right now, people say the roads are mostly clear.
They were so scared about like the cell service going down and everything, but we haven't had any of that. It's been great. It's just been a lot of fun.
But as the eclipse crosses over South Central Texas, officials want to make sure people know that could change.
With the influx of traffic, TxDOT has restrictions on some oversized truckloads in certain Texas counties. We have that list with dozens of names on KSAT.com. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Thanks, Avery. We know she got one of those silver hats, too, so you should be jealous of Avery. It looks very good. You can scan this QR code on your screen for everything you need to know about the total solar eclipse, and you can access it all. You'll instantly see videos and articles that'll help you navigate here in San Antonio, and then, of course, up in the Hill Country. To other news now we're covering in town. 6 people recovering tonight after an early morning shooting on the northeast side. It all started a little before 3 o'clock this morning outside the La Bona Vida Apartments or the Event Center on Perrin Vital and Y Drive near Wurzbach Parkway. San Antonio police say all 6 of the victims are between 15 and 23 years old. 2 of them have life-threatening injuries. Tonight, there are still a lot of questions about what led up to the shooting. So far, no arrests have been made. A scary scene overnight on the southeast side after a driver slammed their car into a home. It happened just after midnight on Pecan Valley Drive near Hicks Avenue. The woman who was inside the home at the time was not hurt, but the crash did cause a lot of damage, including a busted natural gas line. San Antonio police are still looking for that driver. News around America, a scary scene in Denver for passengers on board a Southwest Airlines plane that was forced to land after an engine cover fell off and struck the wing during takeoff. No one was hurt, and Southwest said the Boeing 737 landed safely and passengers were put on another plane. This is the second mishap, though, this week for the airline. On Thursday, a flight from Texas was canceled after a report of an engine fire. The FAA is investigating. It's also investigating that first incident. New ceasefire and hostage negotiations have resumed in Egypt, hoping to make progress towards peace as the Israel-Hamas war reaches its 6-month mark. ABC's Britt Clennett is in Israel with more on what that deal would need to entail.
As the Israel-Hamas war reaches the 6-month mark, Israel Defense Forces leaving southern Gaza, but the IDF saying their fight is not over yet. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant saying troops withdrew from Han Yunis after clearing the area of Hamas, and that forces have left to prepare for future missions, including a potential invasion of Rafah. Israeli sources telling ABC News new negotiations have resumed in Cairo in pursuit of a ceasefire and hostage release deal. The Israeli government is now facing growing outrage at home. Thousands taking to the streets in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem demanding a deal to bring home around 130 remaining hostages still held by Hamas, although the IDF believes at least 30 have been killed. Those calls echoed at a rally in Washington, D.C. at the Lincoln Memorial. Since the October 7th Hamas attack against Israel that began the war, the death toll in Gaza has soared to more than 33,000, according to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry. Entire cities in Gaza in ruins, millions of Palestinians displaced, and the humanitarian crisis continues to worsen with warnings of famine and starvation from the UN. President Biden pressuring Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to allow more aid into Gaza during a call this past Thursday. The Israeli government now says it is allowing more aid in.
We have to see past the announcements and see if they actually meet these commitments over time in a sustained and verifiable way so that confidence can be restored.
This comes after 7 aid workers with the World Central Kitchen were killed in an Israeli airstrike on its aid convoy, which Israel has described as a terrible mistake. Chef Jose Andres, who founded the World Central Kitchen, has slammed the conduct of Israel's forces.
This doesn't seem a war against terror. This doesn't seem anymore a war about defending Israel. This really, at this point, seems is a war against humanity itself.
Britt Clennett, ABC News, Tel Aviv.
If you want to see the eclipse but don't want to travel out far to places like Kerrville or Hondo, we're going to show you some places here in town. Coming up, we'll show you where you can go and how long you'll experience totality.
Millions of people around the country are preparing for tomorrow's eclipse, but how are the animals around the world going to react during totality? That's next on the Nightbeat. As we know, thousands and thousands of people have made their way to the hill country to get the best seat for the total solar eclipse tomorrow. But you don't have to leave town to experience totality. The Night Team's Daniela Ibarra takes a look at some places in San Antonio that are right in the path.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime event.
My siblings, sisters, nieces, nephews will be there. And so we're excited.
It just seems like something from the Bible, like prophecy or something.
A total eclipse is set to cast its shadow across the country, right through the heart of Texas. Lots of people are picking their spots along its path.
We'll probably come to the dog park.
I work from home, luckily, so I'll be watching it from the backyard.
I'm going to be with my family, and we're going to watch it at my parents' house. So we already have the sunglasses or the eclipse glasses, and just going to make like a lunch out of it. Took the day off.
Maybe we can come tomorrow and check it out at 1:30 if I can get off of work early.
For the true eclipse experience, every second and mile matters. And if you're in or near San Antonio, you don't have to go far.
If you want to be just within the path of totality, you can come here to McAllister Park. Here, you'll get 35 seconds of darkness. The time frame where you'll experience darkness will jump up significantly here in Stone Oak. Here, you'll get about 1:20 of total darkness. And one of the prime spots to experience the longest duration of totality is here at the rim. Here, it's about 2 minutes and 38 seconds of totality.
Despite the less than ideal forecast, totality seekers aren't letting it cloud their plans.
We have some wine that's like moon themed, so probably bust some of that out and have some, and hopefully we'll be able to see it pretty good.
Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
See, lots of options. Right now on KSAT.com, we have that interactive map posted for you showing the eclipse and path of totality. Just look for this article.
Because tomorrow, for a few minutes during totality, all of a sudden it's going to become sort of dusk or nighttime-like conditions, and we're hypothesizing that might have a notable effect on our animals' behavior.
As we get set to see the eclipse, have you stopped to think how the flash of darkness will impact all the animals out there? Well, it's obviously something the San Antonio Zoo is thinking about too. Today, the zoo hosted a pre-eclipse celebration. We asked them how they expect the wildlife to react tomorrow afternoon. While they can't predict exactly what will happen, their theory is that once totality hits, many of the active daytime animals might start preparing for nighttime. The zoologists are all ready to take advantage and learn more about how these animals will react. If you don't already have plans for the eclipse and want to see those animal reactions, zoo staff says they are open for business tomorrow. That would be a really cool place to be seeing, at least the partial.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I went to the zoo. I did a research story, all of the rare kind of opportunities that the Eclipse is providing for researchers here in San Antonio. And the zoo was so excited about it. They were able to use the annular that we saw about 6 months ago to kind of get a little bit of a test run.
Something you don't think about.
Exactly. And something that obviously doesn't happen often at all here. So yeah, a lot of researchers excited to see what they can find out there with the total eclipse tomorrow. Speaking of which, let's get right to it. Your day part forecast for the day. All right, so today we had drier air. We had a weak front that moved in last night. It was very comfortable out there to wrap up the weekend's plans. I wish that was going to be the case tomorrow, but unfortunately it is not. We are going to quickly see another batch of humidity move in by the time we're waking up and stepping out the door first thing tomorrow. Because of that, yes, the cloudy skies return. Low-level clouds build back in for the first half of the day, as well as some areas of patchy fog and drizzle. However, as we were mentioning earlier, by noon to just after into the early afternoon, it is possible, especially the farther north and west that you go, that we manage to find a few breaks in some of that low-level cloud cover to at least allow some areas in the path of totality to briefly catch a glimpse of that transition with the moon moving in front of the sun. After that, we also need to mention that we do have the potential to see an isolated storm or two pop up, and if that is the case, those storms could potentially sit on the strong to even severe side. So let's talk about the setup and let's time it all out. As we take a look farther up to our north late this Sunday night, this area of low pressure near the upper Midwest, it's approaching the Great Lakes region, is sparking some scattered rain and storms. That has a front attached to it. That's the front that moved through our neck of the woods early this morning and also last night. That was system number one. System number two here is this area of low pressure that's approaching the Rockies as we speak. This is essentially what's going to allow for a deck of high clouds to start filtering into South Texas tomorrow as it digs into the desert Southwest. Winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere out of the Southwest, so we'll start to see some of those high thin clouds move across the region. At the same time, we see that low level moisture move in off the Gulf. Low clouds are expected to develop tomorrow morning with some patchy fog as well as some patchy drizzle, but by totality around 1:30 p.m. notice here up into the hill country and even out west closer to the Rio Grande, a few breaks in some of that low level cloud cover is certainly possible. So that's going to be something that we will be monitoring very closely here as we get closer to that 1:30 p.m. time frame. I do want to mention, even if it is totally blocked and we see some obstructed views, it is still going to be quite the experience. It is going to get drastically dark in a very short amount of time. So it's still going to be a very fun thing to witness and something very cool out there as we head into our early Monday afternoon. Again, especially if you are in that path of totality. By mid to late afternoon, right after the eclipse, we will be monitoring authority radar. We've got about a 30% potential for a few isolated storms that could potentially pop up. 40% chance Monday night into Tuesday, maybe one final round into Tuesday night. It's the exception rather than the rule here, especially when it comes to tomorrow afternoon. But if we can find a storm develop here or there, it could potentially blossom into a strong to even severe thunderstorm. The biggest thing we would need to monitor if that were the case, maybe some instances of hail and some strong winds. This is also important because if you're traveling post-eclipse, folks are maybe out and about or camping, you're going to want to stay weather aware. Again, it is going to be pretty isolated, but something to monitor. 20% chance early Wednesday, and then a quieter weather pattern takes over into the second half of the upcoming week. But until then, let's head outside with live cam. We've got the humidity in place, well, at least in the works as we head into the overnight tomorrow morning. It's going to be a bit more muggy out there than what we saw today, Courtney.
I did notice it's the dip in temperature during totality, too.
Yes,
I noticed that.
A little bit of a dip, and especially with the cloud cover, too, we'll still see some of that. So
very interesting. And just another piece of this that we're excited for. All right, after the break, we're going to take a look at instant replay. The San Antonio Spurs have less than 1 week left in their regular season. Tonight, they hosted the playoff-bound Philadelphia 76ers. For a preview of what's on Instant Replay, here's Larry Ramirez.
And for the first time this season, the Spurs went to double overtime.
Yes.
It was an exciting game. Both the Spurs and the Sixers were down several key players like Joel Embiid and Devin Vassell, just to name two. So the rest of the players put on one heck of a show coming up tonight on Instant Replay.
Devontae Graham with 7 seconds to Victor. Puts it back out. Champagnie. Oh, yes!
That Julian Champagnie triple gave the Spurs a 2-point lead with 2 seconds left in the regulation, but they could not hold on to it, and they would go to double overtime with the Sixers. It was an exciting game, but the Spurs came up on the wrong side of the outcome.
And Caitlin Clark says goodbye to college basketball.
She left it all on the court during her college career, but Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes were not able to stop the South Carolina Gamecocks in the women's NCAA National Championship game. Today, we'll show you how it all went down.
I can't say enough for the players. I mean, most teams would have been out of this game and gone home already a loser, but we have a bunch of winners on our team.
Trailing 16-0 to the Memphis Steamboats yesterday, the San Antonio Brahmas mounted a crazy comeback. San Antonio scored 12 points with less than 1 minute to go to take the steam out of the boats for an incredible 1-point win on the road. Highlights in Brahmas' winning post are on the way. Plus, we've got the Gunslingers, San Antonio FC, and with 5 games left, can the Spurs avoid their worst record of 20-62 set in 1997? That's our poll question tonight. You can vote on X. That and more coming up on Instant Replay.
Team building season.
Team building season.
Team building season.
There you go.
Be fine, everyone. All right. Thanks, Larry. Still ahead on the Nightbeat, it's a local nonprofit that's been helping parents with special needs children. How that group is changing lives. Coming up. As we all know, the Texas Hill Country has been marked as one of the most popular spots to watch the total eclipse, but the path of totality also has a stretch over a portion of our southern border. ABC News reporter Mireya Villarreal has been in Del Rio ahead of the eclipse.
Here in Del Rio, Texas, it has been absolutely beautiful all weekend long. The sun has been shining. It's been in the 80s, but on Eclipse Day, we are expecting to see clouds come in. It'll be a little overcast. They're even talking about possible sprinkles, and yet there is an absolute excitement in the air. People just can't wait for the eclipse to happen on Monday afternoon. We have met hundreds of people here that are coming in to actually see this event from as far as Finland, the UK, Canada. Even one family, if you can believe it, biked all the way from California. The population here in Del Rio is right around 60,000 people. And, you know, the Chamber of Commerce here, they are expecting that to swell between 15 and 20,000 people just to see the eclipse. You know, we will be sitting and standing really the entire day at the Civic Center. A lot of festivities will be held. They'll have dozens of vendors there and bands throughout the day. And when the actual eclipse happens right around 1:30 in the afternoon, everybody will go quiet for about 3 to 4 minutes, and so people can feel the excitement of the day. Outside of town, at the oldest winery here in Texas, there will also be an event where hundreds of people will be in attendance. It will be a beautiful blend of culture and diversity throughout the entire day. It'll definitely be a sight to see, and we cannot wait to bring you all of that on ABC News. For KSAT, Mireya Villarreal, ABC in Del Rio, Texas.
Yeah, and here's another look at our team coverage map for tomorrow. We here at KSAT will be live and on air from noon until 2. We'll bring you live coverage throughout Bernie, Fredericksburg, Kerrville, and places throughout San Antonio. Again, that Eclipse Authority special Monday from noon to 2. And we know they're going to be able to take streams from many different locations. So make sure if you're wanting to see somewhere in particular, you get on KSAT Plus app on our smart TV, or you can go to KSAT.com and choose your streaming location.
It's going to be pretty cool. Our news director was describing it as kind of a red zone type of deal yes. where we have just multiple streams happening at one time, and you can watch all of them if you would like to. Yep, Spivey and I are going to be out in Leon Springs tomorrow, and we are very, very excited about it. Speaking of which, wanted to get you just another look at when the time of totality is expected to hit in a few areas. Stone Oak around 1:33:37, Helotes 1:32:40. Again, this is in the early afternoon. A look at some of those duration times when it comes to how long totality is expected to last. Near Bernie, 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Near Bandera, 4 minutes and 7 seconds. Some of those times getting a little bit longer as you move your way farther up into the northwest across portions of the hill country. By the way, we have even more information like this up on KSAT.com, as well as an interactive map. You can type in your address and see if your address is in totality or not. All of that up on KSAT.com. Plus, we'll have another look at your Eclipse forecast and talk a little bit more about the potential for a few isolated strong storms coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Mia. Well, San Antonio police are looking for the suspects in a robbery that turned into a shooting. It happened around 10:30 last night at a vape shop on North Foster Road near Old Seguin Highway. That's on the northeast side of town. Officers say 2 men tried to rob the store, and one of the employees chased the suspects outside. That's when one of the suspects fired a gun. Luckily, no one was hurt, but at last check, no arrests have been made. A man's in the hospital after being shot by his ex-girlfriend. It happened on the city's west side on Big Rock Drive near Loop 410 in Marbach. Police say the man came to get some of his things, and the woman told police he began to hit her. That's when she allegedly shot him. She's been talking with police, but we haven't been told whether or not she's facing any charges. For more than 40 years, a local nonprofit has been offering guidance for families with children and young adults with special needs. And the organization is getting ready for their 20th annual Walk for Autism this month. The walk is happening April 20th at Palo Alto College. Tiffany Huerta shows us how Any Baby Can of San Antonio has been changing lives.
So strong-willed. She's funny.
And 8-year-old Aaliyah Flores loves to explore.
She used to play by herself, but now she is wanting to engage in others.
Marlo and Johnny Flores tell us about their daughter's journey.
She did not have a lot of eye contact, not a lot of facial expressions.
Aaliyah was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder when she was 20 months old. The Flores family is thankful for the nonprofit Any Baby Can of San Antonio that helped them navigate autism.
They immediately set me up with a case manager. The case manager came to our house. I remember her bringing this big binder, you're going to need this for life. And she was right.
The nonprofit offers a broad range of services, from case managers who help link families to local and state programs to autism services.
They gave us classes to attend, from ABA, what is ABA therapy, applied behavioral analysis therapy, to potty training strategies.
They welcome you with arms open.
Every year, the Flores family comes together in April for Any Baby Can's Walk for Autism to give back to the organization that changed their lives.
We have shirts, we wear our tutus. Aaliyah's the star of our show.
The 20th annual Walk for Autism is taking place on April 20th at Palo Alto College. There will be resources from a variety of organizations, businesses, and service providers. Aaliyah's family is excited for the event.
It means the world to us. We have an autistic grandchild, and she has really immersed in this. It's so heartwarming to have an organization that supports them.
Aaliyah's mom has a message to her daughter.
Not to give up. She has a strong family support system. We love her, and we're just going to keep pushing forward to be the best that she can be.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
And KSAT Community is partnering with that nonprofit Any Baby Can to help raise awareness and promote acceptance. So we will have a live stream town hall, Understanding Autism, hosted by Tiffany Huertas on Tuesday, April 16th at 2 p.m. Well, if you were in the downtown area today, you may have noticed all the bikers on North St. Mary's Street. These folks were celebrating Ciclovia. It's an event that happens twice a year with the goal of getting people outdoors and encouraging them to make outdoor activity part of their lifestyle. Today, it did coordinate with World Health Day. Well, the 2024 Fiesta Bike Parade is happening on April 13th. It's an event for all ages and will celebrate bike culture in the Alamo City. You can read more about that on KSAT.com. Well, it was an exciting weekend at the box office. Right after the break, a look at how some of the more popular films panned out.
Where's the skadoosh?
Kung Fu Panda 4 made $7.9 million for fifth place in a domestic total of $166 million. The First Omen debuted in fourth place, finding a weaker than expected $8.4 million in the collection plate. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire came up with $9 million, giving the latest paranormal comic adventure third place and $89 million domestic. Monkey Man opened strong in second place. Dev Patel stars and makes his directorial debut with the action drama, which made $10.2 million.
Something is coming. Something even they're afraid of.
Godzilla Kong: The New Empire keeps exceeding expectations. The latest Monster Mash easily kept the crown with a $31.7 million weekend for a 10-day domestic total of $135 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're a homeowner, then this is the story for you. Later this week, the Bexar County Appraisal District set to send out the first batch of new home values. We've got a look at what you can expect. Is the sticker shock easing up? The Bexar Appraisal District will mail out and post new property values later this week. They're generally higher than last year, but not the stunning increases we've been seeing. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz with more on what you can expect.
Not good news. Not good news.
Tony Hernandez's dread is understandable. His home's appraisal and taxes have gone through the roof.
It was a significant jump, especially when COVID hit and the prices of the homes skyrocketed. The homeowners really got punched in the gut.
This year, he may be relieved.
When people open up their notices, what do you think the responses are going to be?
Well, the first thing is there's not going to be a lot of people receiving notices this year as opposed to last year.
Bexar County's chief appraiser showed us the numbers. Home market values are up, but an average 2.4%, a far cry from last year's 16% and the year before that saw a whopping 28% jump. Why the reprieve? Values are set according to what homes in a neighborhood are selling for, and those mostly flattened last year.
What you care about is your tax bill. That's why the homestead exemption is so important. Last year, that exemption for school taxes increased to $100,000. So if your home is appraised at $350,000, you'll pay school taxes based on $250,000.
Also, the amount you're actually taxed on can't increase more than 10% a year.
Please make sure that your exemptions are on file. You have your homestead exemption. There's over 65. There's the disabled person. There's veterans exemptions. Please make sure, because that is going to be the biggest way to help offset the increases in taxes.
Tax rates, the other part of the equation, will be set in a few months. If you disagree with your appraisal, you can appeal. File notice online by May 15th. Hernandez says he likely will again.
If anything, it stops the bleeding and it just doesn't fix the wound.
Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
All right, so for any Debbie Downers thinking the cloud cover is going to ruin this thing tomorrow, there's always a silver lining. Don't cut your plans, right? I mean, just a little cloud cover or even more, you'll still be able to see some pretty cool things.
Exactly. If you were in the path of totality, and let's just say we have a blocked view, say the clouds do not break up ever so slightly, it is still going to get very dark in a very short amount of time. So it's going to be a pretty cool experience to see nonetheless. But yes, we will have to contend with some morning clouds, and fingers crossed, the hope is and the possibility is there to see some of that low-level cloud cover break up a little bit, especially up into the hill country. So that's going to be what we monitor into tomorrow morning. Again, we have that humidity rushing back in, so some morning clouds, some patchy fog and drizzle likely greeting you out the door first thing tomorrow. Still mostly cloudy by eclipse time. Again, totality around 1:30 p.m. for our area, but a few breaks in that cloud cover still possible. And we can't let our guard down when it comes to forgetting about a few isolated to even scattered chances as early as Monday afternoon and into the evening and into Tuesday as well for a few strong to, yes, potentially even severe thunderstorms. So I want to talk all about it right now. dew points, how we measure the low level moisture in the atmosphere, not bad. Upper 40s and low 50s. So it is still pretty dry and pleasant out there, but that is going to change very quickly by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. You can see winds shift in from the southeast. That just opens the door for this Gulf moisture to work back in. So those dew points climb into the mid to upper 60s again in a very short amount of time. So because of that, yes, the low level cloud cover, also the patchy fog. I wanted to bring this up. You can see by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning where that fog develops, it could be dense in spots with visibility potentially under a mile. So that's also something to think about if you are planning on hitting the roads tomorrow for a day trip to see the total solar eclipse, or at least be in the path of totality. Know that some of that fog could slow you down ever so slightly, but after about 9-10 o'clock, that fog dissipates and we'll just be monitoring for some of that cloud cover. But this is a snapshot of what that cloud cover could look like by about 1:30 p.m. The good news is, in the path of totality, the farther north and west that you go, near Fredericksburg, Kerrville, Rock Springs, even out west near the Rio Grande for places like Del Rio, it is possible that we could see a few breaks, allowing some folks to catch a quick glimpse here or there of the solar eclipse taking place. As we zoom this out, though, and take a look at the Lone Star State, slightly better conditions up by 35, potentially over even into northeastern Texas. But what's really interesting is some of the best viewing tomorrow is actually expected to be across portions of the New England states, near Maine, New Hampshire, even Vermont. Statistically speaking and climatologically speaking, this is actually one of the areas that should see the most amount of cloud cover for this time of year. That, unfortunately, was just the card that we've been dealt, with mostly cloudy skies expected into the early afternoon. So here's another take here at your eclipse forecast. As Courtney mentioned earlier, we're in the low 70s at noon after starting off in the mid 60s, but we could see those temperatures take a little bit of a hit as totality takes place, and then we'll rebound back into the upper 70s and low 80s afterwards, with that isolated chance for a few thunderstorms. And I do want to talk about that setup, because that's also going to be something you're going to keep checking back on here over the next 48 hours. Tomorrow, again, the potential is there, but most of us are likely going to miss out. Just an isolated strong to severe storm possible. The Storm Prediction Center has most of south central Texas and just a 1 out of 5 risk for a severe thunderstorm. But if you're hitting the roads farther north near DFW, even Waco, Austin, that threat does increase. So some of the better viewing tomorrow afternoon for the eclipse is then followed by a greater severe weather threat. Into Tuesday, a 2 out of 5 risk is in store for south central Texas. And here's that setup. Again, low pressure system tracking eastward tomorrow, about a 30% potential by late afternoon and into the evening. Watch what happens into Tuesday, though. By Tuesday morning, we will need to monitor for a few scattered strong storms, potentially one last push Tuesday night, and then we'll start to clear things out into Wednesday. After that, a quiet weather pattern takes over to round out the upcoming week. Low temperatures in the mid 50s by Thursday and Friday, highs in the low 80s, and that will continue as we head into next weekend. Courtney.
I think our meteorologist team needs a little break like that for the rest of the week.
After tomorrow,
it's going to be calm. You guys just chill.
It's going to be fine.
You've earned it. All right. Thanks, Mia. We'll be right back after this. The Silver Boot Series between the Rangers and Astros is heating up in Arlington, and the final round of the Valero Texas Open had some fantastic golf and a wild playoff hole. For more on what's on Instant Replay tonight, here's Larry Ramirez.
All right, so that playoff hole saw a ball in the water, and a golfer had to tape his shoulder because he heard it the hole before. Akshay Bhatia held off Denny McCarthy to win the Valero Texas Open, coming up tonight on Instant Replay.
Akshay just got his shoulder treated. Akshay's shoulder came out on the fist pump on the 72nd hole, and that is why he asked for treatment.
How about that? Akshay Bhatia not only had to deal with a hard-charging Denny McCarthy, but he also had to deal with his left shoulder that popped out of the socket on the 72nd hole, and then he went on to win the VTO. That sudden death playoff was unreal.
All right, so Evan Carter, World Series champion. How has that impacted your life?
You know, honestly, it's kind of a whirlwind starting AA and then you finish with the World Series championship. It's quite a change of scenery for me for sure.
Gotta love when players get to wear a mic. After losing the first 2 games of the Silver Boot Series by a combined score of 17-4, the Houston Nationals bounced back tonight with their first win of the series, and they only needed 4 hits to make it happen. Mary will have those highlights. World Boxing Champ 210 Bam is getting ready for his first fight of the year. We've got the UFL and the IFL, plus our latest scholar athlete is from Canyon High School. All that and much more coming up right after the Nightbeat. Courtney.
Not busy at all.
Nah.
Not packed at all. All right. Thanks, Larry. We'll be right back.